What's up, nerds? Welcome to a very special DNA Reacts. I'm here with Team Nerds, Kyle Waite.
What's going on, guys? Hi.
We're here
We're here.
on
Yay.
N7 Day.
N7 Day. What's N7 Day, Corey?
It is the special day. It is November 7th. It is a special day BioWare sets aside for all of their super delicious Mass Effect news.
Delicious Mass Effect news.
And guess what we got today, Kyle?
We got sweatshirts, hoodies.
I'd be sweet. I wish I had a Mass Effect hoodie.
Right? Actually, I used to have one, but
laundry.
What did we get, Corey? What did we get?
We got a trailer. We got release window. We got special editions. And we got backwards compatible Mass Effect 2 and 3. But
okay, we're gonna do that anymore.
we're gonna talk about the trailer first, and then we're gonna go into some of the other stuff and what we're excited about. So, Mass Effect Andromeda coming spring 2017, which is super exciting and super scary because
so many games in that time period.
I already have to play Horizon, Zelda, and South Park in that small window. So, but Mass Effect, you got to make time for Mass Effect.
Oh, absolutely. And
I don't
the
know
trailer,
how, when, where, but we're going to make time for Mass Effect.
for sure. The trailer looked gorgeous. I mean, if nothing else, it looked just crisp, and I love that universe, and I'm so excited to get back into more of it.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So the trailer starts out. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the beginning of Mass Effect 2, where there seems to be a giant wreckage. Like, obviously, if you don't know, Mass Effect is going to the Andromeda galaxy. We're moving away from the Milky Way galaxy, and there's a gnat in my face.
Go away, Matt.
Gosh, you're ruining my video.
Gosh. Don't you know anything? Ugh.
Dang it. Anyway, so it takes place way, way far in the future after the Mass Effect trilogy. You are playing siblings, the writer siblings. There's a male and a female, which I'm assuming you either pick to play as the male or the female, and then the characters adjust accordingly to how you design your characters and stuff. Or maybe you get to design them both. I don't know. Maybe you can swap between the two.
That'd be interesting, designing them both.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see. Dragon Age 2, that was the one where you played as either the male or the female, but it didn't adjust them both. It was basically like you design yours, you create yours, and the other one just falls into place. So
yeah. So maybe that's what will happen. I don't know. I hope you get to design them both because I love character creating, especially in Mass Effect.
Especially, BioWare is just great about their character creation stuff. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah. So these characters seem to wake up on a planet after the wreckage. I'm going to start playing this trailer here and kind of walk us through this trailer. You see a lot of big monsters in a lot of expansive areas, which is kind of new to this franchise. We kind of had big enemies before, like the worms that would come out of the planets, but they weren't really like moving around. They were like, they would pop up with like just a simple animation, and you would shoot them and they'd go back down to the ground. This first monster is like this giant dinosaur looking thing with giant teeth, and he's on 4 legs and he's sprinting at you.
Is that the mega looking one?
I don't know. It's in the trailer. It's about 33. It's about 33 seconds in, and your squad is getting out of the Nomad, which is the new Mako. The next scene is this giant monster roaring at you, and that thing looks intense. And then later on in the trailer, there's just this giant beast that looks like it's towering over a planet city. It's just, the scale of this game looks like it's going to be way bigger than I initially thought.
Oh, for sure. I mean, if they would have just pretty much done Mass Effect 3 and Super HD with a new story, I would have been happy. But this looks like they've just taken everything and they're going like, here, have everything you've ever wanted and more. So I'm excited. Like destructible environments and everything too. Like that's going to be amazing for sure for the series.
Yeah, they confirmed that, not in the trailer, but they did confirm that there are destructible environments. So I wonder how big of a scale that's going to be. Is this going to be like Red Faction style? or is it just going to be like simple destructible animations? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But one thing you pointed out to me that I didn't even realize was it looks like the main antagonists in this are the Prometheans.
So, and they're either, because the way I was looking at them is, if you remember from 2, you were fighting against the Collectors, which were pretty much bastardized Prometheans that got like corrupted or something. And then in 3, I think it was like the DLC character that you could get that came with the game, kind of like Zed from the second game, was a Promethean. So from what I could see of them, they either look like they are straight up just the Prometheans, or they are like the Prometheans that are closer to the Collectors type, you know? So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see exactly what's going on there. But there was a line in the trailer. He said, I think he said, "Oh, we are the aliens," or something like that.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh, chills! Oh, chills!"
I think it's about the 116-ish mark where they're like looking at this planet, and it's the part of the trailer where they showed the gameplay footage at the PlayStation conference in October. I think
right.
That's what it looked like, at least, where the overlying line was, "We are the aliens," and like they're kind of trying to escape from this giant explosion. And then the line that really, really got me was when it looks like the king, the ruler of the Prometheans, walks up to Ryder, and he's like, "Now I know it makes you special."
The way he says it, though, he's like, he pauses and he's like, super, "Now I know what makes you special." And it's like, oh, chills. I want to play this now.
This makes me, oh my gosh, the way he says it really reminds me of like the way Saren used to talk in Mass Effect 1.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if we can get gameplay of Mass Effect 2 with an upgrade system and a story of Mass Effect 1,
put in the gameplay of Mass Effect 3. It was smoother. It was the better gameplay. I mean, you know, the story people didn't quite agree with at the end, but I think the gameplay from 3 was, you know, the smoothest version. And from what we could see, I mean, it's going to be something a little bit different already, though, from what we did see, the little bit of gameplay and the little bit of gameplay that we saw from the PS4 Pro reveal. But, I mean, we didn't see much combat. We didn't actually see any, I think, combat in either of these, did we? We just saw the pre-rendered cutscene type stuff.
Yeah, there wasn't really much combat. There is a small thing at around the let's see, where's it at? About the 113 mark, where they do show you battling the giant city-sized monster, but it's a very small clip. The rest of it just looks like pre-rendered cutscenes.
Yeah, that city-sized monster, like that little, it's warming around the place. It looks like a freaking transformer. Like, it really does. Like, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, I mean that in a good way. It looks awesome. It reminded me of Transformers, kind of mixed with that giant worm from Avengers. You know?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It looks awesome. Like it like I can't tell if this is like a city or if these are just like weird rock formations that you're battling him in, but like it looks awesome. And just this whole trailer, it nailed all the right aspects of what we love about Mass Effect, and it showed them to us in a way that just like instant hype, man. It's just like instant hype.
For sure. Like, you're like, "Hey man, do you want to do a video with me?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. What about?" You're like, "Mass Effect trailer." I'm like, "Wait, what?" I look at the day. I'm like, "It is in 7 day." And like, before I've been watching it, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I am so ready for this." So getting to watch that trailer, getting to see the 1 minute and 30 seconds that we do get to see, like, oh my gosh, I wish the trailer was longer. I really do, because I just want to see more and more and more of this. But I'm so happy with what we did get.
Yeah, for sure. A couple other things to make note of this in 7 day. They did make the complete trilogy backwards compatible on Xbox One.
Yes.
So that is super exciting because I actually hold on, Kyle, vamp for a second. I need to.
Wait, what? What's going on? Oh, hey guys. So my name's Kyle. Corey's reaching and grabbing some things. So looks like he's grabbing some Mass Effect things. Yeah. You can't see him though, because I'm talking, so you can't see what he's doing, but you can see what I'm doing. But I tell you that he was grabbing Mass Effect things. Okay, I think he's back.
I am back, and I can now officially put my Xbox 360 away because the two games I was saving to do Let's Plays on are finally backwards compatible on Xbox One. So I have my Mass Effect 2 Collector's Edition and my Mass Effect 3 Collector's Edition. The cardboard boxes that they come in are stored away with the art books, but they are complete. So
Man, those metal cases though, you got Shepard and FemShep.
I know
That's pretty awesome. Those
it
are
is
some
awesome.
great
Well,
great
the
collector's
Mass
cases.
Effect 3 one is double sided.
Right. But like the big push they had for it was, trying to get FemShep on the cover of some of the versions of it.
I
So
know, and
I
like
still think that's awesome.
the regular version had that flip cover. Remember where
Yeah.
you could have FemShep or regular Shepard on the front. So
Yeah, and let's all be honest. All of us put FemShep on the cover. Like
let's be honest. I think 90% of us played as FemShep.
exactly.
And I told you, every time I design a character, ever since Mass Effect 1, I design a female character and they always look the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
Even my Destiny character looks just like my
Destiny
Mass Effect
characters
1
too.
character. So,
Oh, it all comes back to Destiny.
I played a little bit of Destiny last night. It was interesting, but this is a Mass Effect let's play. Yeah, it's a Mass Effect
Video.
Andromeda let's play.
Oh yeah, we're playing Mass Effect Andromeda, guys. It's just gonna take about 4.5 months to get this set up, but we'll be with you shortly.
Oh my gosh,
I'm so excited for this game, man. Like this series, the Mass Effect series, is just one of those great stories. And yeah, a lot of people got upset about the ending of 3.
which I don't know why. I actually really like the ending of Mass Effect
Experience
3.
altogether, and like I also enjoyed 3's ending because I was like, you know what? I don't care if you still end up at the same point no matter what you did in that, because you still got to do everything in that world and experience it your way. It's like playing a Telltale game, you have point A and you have point B, and what you do in the middle, how you color it in on your own, that's your story. So
Yeah, the way I look at it is like it's a diamond shape. Everybody started out the same. Like you have that same initial story beat, and you hit all these different story beats throughout all 3 games. They're all similar but different depending on how you play, and then the game comes to an end at another point. Like it's a diamond, that's how these games work. And I actually thought, from a narrative perspective, that actually works for Mass Effect really well, because no matter what you do, I felt like from a storytelling perspective, like you can't fight fate, you can't fight destiny, and like no matter what you do or how much you try to prevent something or do something a certain way, it's always going to end the same way no matter what you do. And I feel like, from a narrative perspective and the way people tell stories, I thought that fit perfect into what Mass Effect was trying to do as a storytelling game. But, I do understand that people wanted to know what happened to the characters after that event. But like, again, from a storytelling perspective, maybe they just leave it unsaid. Maybe you're just not supposed to know.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the same thing as like, people would be like, well, I played the exact same story as you and we got the exact same ending, so how is that a choose your own game? I'm like, okay, well, did you save Rex? And they're like, who's Rex? I'm like, exactly. They're like, they didn't, because they're all like, I started on Mass Effect 2 and I just watched that whole trailer thing and it just was whatever. So who's Rex? I was dealing with this grumpy Krogan leader dude, but who's Rex? Like, okay, so you didn't have the exact same story as me. See, my Shepard was my Shepard. Regardless of if someone played it almost exactly the same as me, I still designed it as my own character. I still played it as my own experience. I had the interactions with Garrus and with Liara and with Grunt and Rex and all the other characters, and that was my world. That was my experience of the game. And I think that's something that, even though we did end up at that, hey, pick red, blue, or green, you know,
Yeah.
it was still my experience with it. And I think pick red, blue, or green still, even though it was, yeah, these are technically three endings, it still lent that feeling of, this is your choice still, even though it was, we're all ending up at basically the same place. So I don't know.
Yeah. And like even like minor story points, like, did you get Saren to kill himself, or did you have to fight Saren 3 different times?
And that is the amazing part. Like, I think the only other game that I can think of where you can have the final boss actually kill themselves or just not have to fight them technically is The Witcher 2, where after everything's said and done, spoilers be damned, but you sit down and you talk with him and you're like, we've both been horrible to each other. What's even the point? And then you guys go and grab like a beer or something. So sure, you still have to fight Saren at the end of it because he's all possessed by the Reapers in the first game. But if you can talk him through it, if your Paragon level is high enough and you talk to him and you're like, Saren, you don't have to do this. You're being a pawn. And he'll recognize that and he'll pull the trigger on himself. And it's such a moving moment when you can get that to happen because you're like, oh, maybe there was some good left in him after all. I mean, it's that whole Darth Vader moment where you're like, I knew there was good in you. Yeah, I don't know. Amazing part for Mass Effect 1.
Yeah, I totally agree. But let's get into our final thoughts on the trailer before we move into the other news stories that hit today. Final thoughts on the trailer, Kyle?
I loved it. I wanted more of it because, I love Mass Effect. And I'm always going to want more Mass Effect. So they teased it. They showed us some stuff. Really cool. Looks great. I just want it now.
Yeah, I love the trailer. They showed so much, and yet it's the Nintendo effect where they show so much, but now I have 1,000 more questions.
Oh, for sure. Like, they can't leave you with all your answers or all your questions answered because then you're like, okay, well, I'm good. But
yeah,
I swear they made twice as many questions now as they did answers. So,
yeah, I'm excited to start this new, what I'm assuming is a new trilogy. I wonder how the power of the new hardware is going to affect the game or like your decisions and how they transfer from game to game, and if they're actually going to do the same thing as the Mass Effect trilogy where your decisions carry over.
I mean, because something that Mass Effect has been really good about transferring all your decisions over game per game, but like Dragon Age 1 to Dragon Age 2, sure, you could transfer a save file, but you were a completely different main character, and it didn't really make much of an effect on the world. And with Inquisition, I think there was a way to kind of transfer what you did.
Yeah, they had
by like
you could upload
something online.
You could upload your saves to like their website if you played the version, or you could like do all the decision making through their website and download it onto your console or whatever.
But I mean, like, that was kind of more broken apart and more separated. And I hope that's not, indicative of what they're going to do with this new Mass Effect trilogy that we're assuming is a trilogy. I hope that they stick to how they did it with Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. And even if that means, Scorpio and PS4 Pro run their life cycles or whatever, and we get the PS5 and the Xbox whatever, and potentially, hopefully, a Nintendo something or other too, if the Switch is still around or, whatever's going on there. I want to see them have a way that, even if they just do like that comic book cutscene like they did it too, I want to see them do something like that at the very least to bring all of your decisions forward. So, I don't know. I'm hopeful. I'm excited. And I love me some Mass Effect. So hopefully the PS4 Pro and the Switch or the PS4 Pro and the Scorpio can take advantage of the extra power, though. Make these run like smoother frame rates potentially. I don't know. I'm excited to see what the new improved hardware can prove to these. And I also want to see this on Switch. So
yeah, this would be a game that I might want to take on the go with me, especially if there's like small side missions or like there's like going to be a grindy aspect to it. I would like to see that on Switch too. But I love the trailer, but that's not the only thing that was announced on this N7 day, Kyle.
What else was announced, Corey?
Mass Effect 2 and 3 are now backwards compatible.
You already said that, bro.
I know, but I want to talk about it.
Okay, well, let's talk about it.
I know I already said all that, but are you going to replay the original trilogy before this?
All right, so here's the thing. If I was in high school, yes. Right now, I don't know, man. I really don't know. As much as I love those games, I don't know if I can sit down and dedicate time to old 360 games that take approximately 30 to 40 hours, depending on completion status and how much you really want to do in that world. I don't know if I can do that again for both of those games when I've still got so many other games to play through. Like, I mean, I just finished playing Titanfall 2's campaign. I got to get into Call of Duty Infinite Warfare's campaign, see how that is. And then, we've got all these other games that are coming up. We've got The Last Guardians coming up. We've got Final Fantasy 15, Pokemon Sun and Moon. There's so many games coming out right now that, based on the nature of what, our jobs, technically, if you want to consider YouTube a job, our job is to try to cover those as best as we can. And sure, there's always going to be that part of me that's like, man, I love going back and playing a game I love. But right now I need to focus on these games coming out. And maybe if we do end up with one of those lulls of time where, okay, I'm caught up. I've played everything I need to play for the channel. I've played everything that I want to play for me. Okay, let's go replay these games now,
Yeah. Yeah. See, I want to play through Titanfall 2's campaign, and I want to play.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good.
I want to play through Infinite Warfare's campaign because I heard that campaign was amazing, and it's sad that did you see the stat that in the UK sales are down 50% over Black Ops 3 on Infinite Warfare?
Because a lot of people are just tired of Call of Duty at this point, which is understandable.
Yeah, which is sad. Because I heard this is the best campaign since Modern Warfare.
See, I've heard that too, but at the same time, I guarantee you that Titanfall 2's campaign is better than it. And I haven't even played Infinite Warfare's yet because Titanfall 2, like, it's really freaking good. Like, I gave Gears 4 a 10 out of 10, and Titanfall 2 is really freaking close to that. Like, it was really good, and it got me caring about a freaking Titan. It got me caring about a robot, Like, if a game can do that to you, it's got something going on for it. So
yeah. So I mean, I want to play through those two campaigns. I'll probably just redbox those games, just because, I wanted to buy Titanfall 2 outright, which I still might, but with keeping up with Destiny and Gears 4 multiplayer now has its hooks in me.
Gears is
really bad, dude. Dodgeball and Guardian, those two modes are just...
Have you played any Horde yet, Corey?
No, I haven't played any Horde yet.
You need to play Horde. That is...
Well, I'm waiting for you and Ed to just like...
We've been waiting for you, bro.
I know. And later today we're recording the Gears 4 spoiler cast on...
Of course we are.
Team Nerds Podcast Kinected. Go like, subscribe, and share to their channel. But, I don't know if I'm going to have time to play through these games as much as I love them, especially because with my OCD-ness, I can't just start on 2. I would have to play through 1.
Exactly. See, you get it.
As much as I love that story, Mass Effect 1's gameplay is god-awful.
Rough. It is
rough. Have you tried to play it lately?
Yeah. No, I
probably played it like...
compatibility. I was like... Sweet, I love this game. I'm gonna go play it. I download it. I started it. I'm like, oh my
gosh! And then if you're like one of the sniping classes, and sniper's like, whoa, he's like a drunk sniper. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even shoot anything.
That freaking sound that the sniper makes too.
Oh, nice.
It's like, okay,
it's so good. But there's so many backwards compat games that I wanted to play recently, like Red Dead Redemption. I wanted to get back and play, and I haven't gotten to it. And now these, like, well, and like I'm excited for Andromeda, but I don't know if I'm gonna. I would love to go back and play these games, but work and life and
right,
it's not. I don't know if it's going to happen.
See, and here's the thing, though. Like, Andromeda is making itself off to be obviously like a fresh start, a new entry. Like, you get your foot wet for the first time ever, if possible, into this Mass Effect universe with Andromeda. It's making itself out to be that because it is a new character, and Commander Shepard, his story is over. His story was 1 through 3, and that's great. This new guy, cool, great. It's a new start. So just like how, you've got Gears of War 4, how it's focusing on JD Phoenix instead of Marcus Phoenix. Sure, there's a lot of throwbacks to the previous trilogy, and you'll appreciate it more probably if you've played the previous trilogy. But Gears 4 is also just a great starting off point. So I feel like Andromeda, the way they're setting it up, they're in this new galaxy. I feel like they're going to do it right, and they're going to make it so it's like, yeah, okay, you don't need to play the other ones, but if you want to, they are there. So,
yeah. But lastly, they did announce a couple collector's editions and a couple special toys that are coming.
BioWare, take my money.
I know. Take my money. Already announced was the Dark Horse Comics art book, The Art of Mass Effect Andromeda.
Which is how the release date got leaked.
Right. I do have both of the other Mass Effect art books. I have the Art of Mass Effect and then the Art of the Mass Effect Universe, both released by Dark Horse.
Right.
And they're amazing, as well as a bunch of other art books and stuff. Dark Horse does such a great job. But their suggested scheduled release date was March 21st, 2017. But EA is sticking to the firmly
spring
2017. So
I mean, but like if you look at it, you said March 21st. That is a Tuesday.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday, and it's a week after Switch comes out.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I could see it.
So that's kind of, we're looking at March at least. I'm thinking. So
yeah.
The Amazon has also listed a few collector's editions. They've listed the deluxe edition, but they don't list any details about what's coming. But there are 2 different box arts, which I'll throw up in the Reacts trailer. I do have them both.
Edition though, do you think there's going to be like a season pass? Or do you think it's a steelbook? Because if they do a season pass, that implies multiplayer, which kind of
confirmed. They have confirmed there is 4-player multiplayer. So
is that going to be similar to what happened in like Mass Effect 3, how you could take on like horde mode type waves of enemies?
I'm guessing. I bet they'll have some sort of like season pass for single player content, and then the support for multiplayer will be similar to what Halo and Gears are doing with rec packs. Because they did do that in Mass Effect 3, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, they had like their little microtransactions. Gosh, now I'm thinking about it. I spent so much on those trying to get that one weapon that you want.
Dude, I've already spent $20 on Gears rec packs.
Oh my gosh, I've been close to it. I've been like, gosh, I
wanted that Marcus Phoenix COG uniform for multiplayer. I dismantled so many things for that silver credit that you use to buy characters, and I'm just like, I need 600. What can I dismantle? I don't need this zombie torque bow. I'm dismantling it. But I'm guessing that's what they're going to do. Maybe the deluxe version comes with the season pass, and maybe there's no way they're not doing single player DLC for this.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to. It's Mass Effect.
Yeah. So there's that, and then there's a couple of collectibles. I don't know if this is part of a special edition or not, but there's a $199 remote control Nomad, which is awesome. If you see the picture, I'll throw it up in this video too. It looks awesome. There's a $99 die-cast model of the Nomad, and then there's a $9.99 1/64th scale mini model of the Nomad. So they're really
pushing the Nomad. You would think that they would push like the spaceship more, but maybe they aren't up in space going to planet as much on this one. I don't know.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I wonder how much planetary exploration there's going to be. I you know what I said about 6 months ago on another podcast, if they did a companion app for planet mining, like on your phone while you're away from the game to
That would be amazing because like the planet mining in 2 and in 3 was, you know, it was fine, it was whatever, but it was like I want to play Mass Effect to get to the action, but I'm not going to jump into the action if I don't have full steel armor plating or whatever, this whatever, you know, like you go and do that because you want to get the completion of it. But if you can do that away from the console, that would be awesome. I agree with you.
Yeah, I forget. I think it was a topic on NGR Radio that we talked about how would we gamify mini games in games, and I think that was one that we talked about. NGR Radio is available every Monday at 10 a.m. on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube.
Shameless plug.
I know. Plugging my own stuff at my own show. I'm sorry. Hey, you
gotta get all close to the mic, and you just wanted to make sure everyone was knowing what was going on right there. So I like how you did that.
I know, right? It's we're gonna slow it down to some smooth.
Oh, there it is.
But so that's kind of all the news that came out today. Also, you can change your Facebook profile picture to have N7 banner on it. I already did that.
See, if I did that now though, because I just got that awesome anime holding the Lancer and the Gears armor, that just looked weird if I did that now.
Yeah. Would it though?
Yeah.
Would it though?
Maybe a little bit.
Would it?
If it was Blood Dragon armor, I'd do it.
I mean, all I know is that I was using a Lancer on my avatar while driving a Warthog from Halo in my avatar on Xbox 360. So that was not weird or anything.
That's awesome.
While wearing Mass Effect armor.
Of course.
So I think that about wraps up all the news for Mass Effect Andromeda and all the reoccurring news that just happened. So final thoughts, Kyle, on Mass Effect Andromeda before we wrap this up.
I mean, I don't know what else to say other than I'm excited. I enjoyed the trailer. I like what they were showing off. I'm excited to see, exactly what does come with each of the collector's versions, or if the Mako, the remote control Mako is its own special collector's edition, or if it's own standalone thing. And, depending on time of games and stuff coming out, I might try to go back and play some Mass Effect trilogy, because
I think I'm at least going to go back and see how these games look on Xbox One.
Oh yeah,
I wonder if anything is like a smoother frame rate or anything similar to what happened with Red Dead.
Well, because they've got the built-in upscaling when you do play them on the Xbox One. My question is, how far does that upscaling go? Because I know with my with my Xbox One S, all of my Xbox One games do get upscaled to 4K on my 4K TV. I wonder if these Xbox 360 games do get that extra little push up to that as well, or if it's just to the 1080p. So that'll be something to check out.
Yeah, I'm excited because my birthday's coming up, and I think I'm getting an Xbox One S. So I'm pretty excited because
just dropping the hints there, Sana, if you're watching this.
No, Sana and I discussed it because with the wedding and everything, we're doing small birthdays and Christmases this year, just because we spent all of our money on a wedding and a honeymoon and all this.
Congratulations, though. I mean, worth
all
it.
This other garbage.
Oh my gosh, you're grounded.
I know. I'm just kidding. But my parents asked me what I wanted, and I was like, well, I kind of want to upgrade my Xbox One, and the new ones are out, and I want that hard drive space and everything. Yeah, so
we'll sure.
See. We'll see.
Are you considering a PS4 Pro at all, or no? Yeah, I mean, not until
my PS4 is fine. I don't know if I'm gonna upgrade my PS4 at all until it just dies. The only things I play on my PS4 are the exclusives and Destiny.
But you've been playing Destiny on Xbox some too, so
yeah. I actually turned it on the other day, and I loaded up my Warlock, and I was so sad to see that I was only a 333. I was like, man, I need to do some work. I haven't even played the campaign yet.
Oh, I haven't done that on PlayStation yet, so I feel you there. No, see, because I'm considering the PS4 Pro now that I have the 4K TV, but at the same time, just like you, I don't play my PlayStation except for the exclusives. And right now, the only exclusive on my radar is Horizon Zero Dawn. So, like, I kind of want to go back and play The Last of Us with the PS4 Pro patch, but at the same time, is it really worth spending $400 just to go play a game that I've played probably 20 times by now? You know?
Yeah.
And that's just back into that whole I don't have time for that anymore thing. So
yeah, I actually just re-downloaded all the PlayStation exclusives onto my PS4. Like, I want to go back and play The Order. I want to give that game a second chance, especially with like there's some rumors of a sequel that Ready at Dawn is still working on a sequel to that game.
really, I mean,
yeah, and I want to see how it like because I feel like that game that series has such potential, and if Ready at Dawn would have just totally just ripped off Gears of War.
oh, I was gonna say, like, it looked like it was supposed to be their Gears of War ripoff, but then I heard that the gameplay was just kind of bleh.
It was okay. The gameplay wasn't the issue. It was the fact that the campaign was it took me about 7 hours to beat, and there's no co-op, there's no multiplayer, there's nothing. It's strictly just a single player campaign, and that was what kind of downgraded that game for me. It was like,
so it was just a 7-hour campaign with nothing else. Like, if you're just doing a campaign with no multiplayer, no nothing, that's got to be, you've got to make it at least 10 hours a minimum to really qualify that you're charging $60 for it, which, I mean, you can get it for like what, 20, 15, 10 now?
I think it's $19.99 on the
PSN?
The PlayStation Store, but it goes on sale all the time.
Yeah.
I think I bought it. It was like $7.99 when I bought it.
Oh wow. Okay.
So, and don't get me wrong, it's that campaign and the story and the characters are awesome. I think like all that is definitely worth like 15 or $20. But I wish they would have just totally ripped off Gears of War in terms of gameplay and adding a multiplayer suite and whatnot. So I think, and I mean they already have the engine built. I think they could just totally take 3 years to rebuild the gameplay engine, add a multiplayer suite. I think that game would be really good. But we're not here to talk about PlayStation.
We're getting all over the place now.
So I guessing we're both getting Mass Effect Andromeda for Xbox, I'm assuming.
So here's the thing. I want to see it on my Scorpio when I get it, but Scorpio's not going to be out then,
Yeah.
So if I end up, being like, okay, I'm going to get the Pro, I might get it on the Pro so I can see how pretty it looks. The other thing, though, is if it's out on the Switch, I might get it on the Switch because I want to take that game with me everywhere. So it's really just a matter of I'm not going to know until probably a month before what I'm getting it on, honestly. True. So, but it's probably going to be on my Xbox just because that is where I play most of my multiplayer games or my third-party games, and that is where I'm more engrossed into the ecosystem. Plus, I know I'm going to buy a Scorpio. I'm still on the fence about the Pro, so
right,
yeah,
right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for this Mass Effect Andromeda reactions. Got to get this up as fast as possible.
Plus a little bit of PS stuff, plus a little bit of Nintendo stuff, plus we talk about The Order for 5 seconds.
I know we can't get away from
we can't. I mean, we've got this plan, we've got what's going on, and this train just like derailed.
Yeah. Oh, what's this? Shiny.
Oh, shiny.
Oh, what's this? Oh.
Must touch everything.
Kyle, thank you for doing this Mass Effect Andromeda reaction with me.
I have a blast doing videos with you guys. You know that.
Go subscribe to Team Nerd on YouTube. Make sure you check out Podcast Kinected, which I am a part of sometimes when I'm not away.
Busy at work and such.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to have Mondays off from now on, so that's going to be good. But
Podcast Connected goes up on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. PST. So get your fix there. We bust it down into parts, and the full version of the full episode goes up on Friday with parts coming up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah. You can also find that show on DNAnetwork.net.
Because that's a thing.
It is a thing.
That's an awesome thing.
It's an exciting thing.
It is.
You can check out all of my content on youtube.com/digital nerd advocates network or on DNAnetwork.net. Look for vlogs, blogs, reviews. I do have 2 reviews coming up in the next couple days. I hope. I need to record some footage of Rise of the Tomb Raider so I can get that video review done.
Such a good game.
The written review's done. It's totally done and edited and worked out and stuff. I just need to get that video review done. And Gears of War 4 written review is going up this week too, because I already have all my footage captured. So I might actually release that first, since Tomb Raider's kind of, I don't want to say old news, but it is kind of old news, but it's still worth playing. I still think Rise of the Tomb Raider edges out Gears of War 4 by a smidge as being the best Xbox One game.
I don't know, buddy. I don't know. I gave Gears a 10 out of 10. So, I know. I mean, and Rise of the Tomb Raider, even though I didn't do a review of it, I mean, solid 9.5 game easily. So
it's like comparing
apples and oranges.
It's like comparing.
It's comparing apples and strawberries.
It's like comparing Starbursts and Skittles. They're both amazing.
They really are.
Sometimes you just prefer one over the other.
Exactly. Some people like Skittles better. Some people like Starburst better.
Yeah. Check out NGR Radio every Monday. That's my community podcast I do with Matthew Keel. So make sure you check that out every Monday on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and Google Play, as well as the video version on YouTube. But there are going to be some minor video changes. I just set up my new computer, and I'm trying to figure out if going Skype on OBS is going to be a better watching experience. I'm not sure yet, but Kyle, I love you. We need to get you back on that show too.
Oh my gosh, yes. That was a train wreck and a half, but I mean that in a good way.
Oh my gosh, that was such a good episode. But thank you so much for watching, and until next time.
Bye.
Love you.
He did it.
I did it.
He's
did a thing. We started
stuffing things.
Okay, don't say anything you don't want anybody to hear. So here we go.
Uh-oh.
I pooped my pants.
Looks like you're going to be going first in Cards Against Humanity.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
That's a dangerous game.
Yes, it is, especially with family. All right.
Where did that Mass Effect trailer go?
You keep closing things out?
I do.
Are you on your Mac top or your PC?
My Mac. I found it. Okay. We're good.
We are good. And with the Windows 10, you can snap things to the sides of the screen, so you can have you on one side of the screen, or this chat on one side of the screen. You can have the trailer on the other side.
Yeah, I know. All right, here we go.
Okay,
maybe. It doesn't matter. I'm going to download it and re-edit it and send it back up. Anyway.
Of course, as is the tradition.
All right, Kyle, are you ready?
I was born ready, Corey.
I was born this way.